I just need some place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand. No was all he said. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me.
Well, this used to be a cow pasture behind me here. My father had a dairy farm, and cows were there all the time. And Jack's mother brought him across the road, and there was a fence there. I stood on the inside of the fence, and he stood on the outside of the fence. And at that time, he was probably 4 or 5 years old, both of us were. And he was a little boy with blonde hair back then.
Well, Jack is he's been through a lot of things. He went into the Army and had an interesting gig in Germany and met some crazy people and had a wonderful girlfriend that smoked a pipe, and I kind of remember that. And he was in the seminary for a year, so that's unusual. He moved to California, which I thought was a horrid tragedy. At the time, I was young and we couldn't stand to lose him, but it was very good for him. He's had a nice life out there and got in very much into physical fitness and all kinds of exercise, tennis and biking and so on, and now golf crazy. So it's been a great life for him. He had his own business, very successful, still works at it somewhat. So he's a character. I think he's a combination maybe of two unusual parents that we had. Both of them with like just grade school educations, but very smart, nice people. And he took some of each of them and developed it, I think.
I guess my best memories of Jack, we have lots of them because we've both been around for so long, are when we were younger. We were busy with the family and what was going on, and it was, we were very close then because the others were younger, and we enjoyed taking care of business by ourselves. And we went lots of places together, and he was a good younger brother. He still is.
When I was a mason contractor at that time, and Jack was in the service. I think he was in Germany. So Jack, when he came home from the service, he was looking for a job, and I said, well, you can work with me during the summer anyway, you know. So I put him on as a mason tender at that time, mixing cement and all that stuff, which he didn't like too much because, well, he was still going to school anyway. He said, well, this is not what I want to do the rest of my life, that's for sure.
He's an amazing man at 80, and he was an amazing man our whole lives. Jack used to be one of the more famous 8-ball or 3-ball players in Gino and Carlos. But it was back in the day when he often had cigars in his pocket also. His first break, invariably, we'd have to stop the game while everybody went around and picked up all the cigars, came flying out of Jack's pocket. But that memory is emblematic of days up on Green Street in North Beach where we were having lots and lots of fun, and I'm talking about a period of time that lasted eons, decades of just good times, and one right after another. Particularly after I started working with Jack, he opened my eyes to a way to make a living that was both interesting, it could be lucrative, and you had free time to play golf once in a while, you know. So.
Well, I met Jack when he came to St. John the Baptist School about 1952, and we were registering for the fall semester, and I noticed an unfamiliar face with the senior class, and it was Jack Lake.
Now let's zoom up to San Rafael, circa 1966. Seeing I wasn't heading to Harvard from Salve, I had a change of scenery and went to San Rafael High School and met a lot of good people there, and it was a good school. 145 Irwin Street was a nice place to hang out, and I had a great time. I remember the old backyard and even pouring the patio with 2 Gulp Gym. Spent a year and a half with you and Barb and the kids, and we had a grand old time, and it was quite an exciting time to be in California, 66 and 67.
Well, other than going through school with him for just 1 year, we became friends. He went into the service, got out, went to SU. While at SU, he told me that he thought he'd buy a motorcycle to commute back and forth to school. It would be easier. One problem was he didn't know how to ride a motorcycle, didn't know how to drive it. But somehow he learned himself how to drive this and got around on his motorcycle. One evening he said to me, "Do you want to go for a ride?" I was rather reluctant, but I said okay. So we went downtown on the new highway, turned around, came back. Now, I don't know how fast the motorcycle is going, but if someone told me 100, I would believe him. I sat in the motorcycle and I said to myself, if I ever get off this motorcycle alive, I'll never get on another one. That was 55 years ago, and I've never been on a motorcycle.
Jack and I got involved in lots and lots and lots of projects over the years at Pengrove or at Marina Boulevard or wherever it was, but it was just trying to get a task accomplished over a weekend and having a lot of fun doing it.
We went to Chiefs games. I think they were still or some kind of ball games. I remember going, even if we had to take the bus to get there from the country. We went, and we did a fair amount of things to keep things going in the right direction. He was a good help to us and a good friend, as well as being my brother. Of course, we love him to death. We don't always understand him, but we love him.
Oh, endearing. Well, he's got a nice side, but he keeps that to himself a lot. He's very kind, but he's also very determined to do things only his way. So I think we're all a bit like that. So it makes for some interesting controversies. It has over the years. But he's a caretaker, I guess, and I don't know what else I would say. He's very ambitious. He never sits down. I don't think I've ever seen Jack fully relaxed in his own home. He just is always at something.
Jack's mother had a friend that had a camp up in Big Moose Lake, and Janet's mother and my mother became very good friends because my mother was living alone in the house at that time. And she had a friend that had a place up in Big Moose Lake, so she invited my mother to go up there with him, the Big Moose. And I went up there. I took my mother up there at that time. My brother went up there. He was in the state police at that time. He went up, both my brothers. And we got up there, and Janet was there with her girlfriend. And my brother was in the state police that time, so he was there. So that's when I first really got to know her. I mean, she lived next door, but I never really had much to do with her at that time. So, but anyway, I went up there and really got to know her. I said, "Oh, wow, she's a nice girl," you know. And so I came home, and about 5 months later, we started dating after we got home, and for a while. And about 5 months later, I don't know if I was proposing to her, but I think she asked me about getting married. So,
We did the same type of work. After Jack got out of the university, got a job with an insurance company as a claims adjuster, who assigned him to Binghamton, New York. And while he was down there, he naturally met a lot of friends and so on. And also, around that time, he met a girl by the name of Barbara. And as time went on, he stayed in Binghamton, which is about 75 miles south of Syracuse. And then he called me one day and said he was going to get married and if I would be the best man in his wedding. I was elated. The wedding was in Binghamton, Barbara and Jack. And afterward, I drove my 75 miles back to Syracuse. The next morning, Jack and Barbara headed for San Francisco.
Yes, a very big disappointment once, and it was a horrible winter day. He had a paper route and talked me into helping him. And the wind was blowing and it was fierce, and he said, you know what, when we get done with this, I'll take you to the movies. And that was a big deal in that day. And when we got home, my mother wouldn't let me go. And I was so disappointed. I thought I was going to be out with the big people.
He had a quick temper, let me put it that way. 'Cause he played on the basketball team in Phoenix High School. And I remember he got in a fight with one of the guys that were on the Camden basketball team. And after that, we never played Camden again until just very recently. So that lasted that long.
Adirondack Mountains, he needed a ride home. I had never met him before. So I said, sure, we'll give you a ride. He had to work at midnight, and he just kept crabbing about my driving. And it was raining, you can't see the road, da, da, da. So we stopped to get something to eat, and he stayed out in the car, and I put the sunroof down so he'd get all wet, because he really got on my nerves. He was fun to be with, and we were just friends. He would meet me at Niagara Mohawk, where I used to work, and go over to Hotel Syracuse. Sometimes John and Janet had met us a few times, and he was just a fun person and a good friend. Very caring, very responsible, good father, a lot of fun together, loved sports. Those are our common bonds. And we both used to love to travel a lot. His work ethics, his responsibility, his success, and the fun we have together.
cycling together and eating together, and look how happy they are now. Land of the party. Mike, that's your destination.
Tell me the story. Now let it
Wow, your botany or something. She may teach photography.
wrapped in glory. For one Irish river. Tell me you're wiser now.
The soil's richer up here.
Tell me you're older. Wrapped in glory. For one Irish river. I can tell by the light in your eyes that you're so far away. I can ship out on the sea without a sail. You're gone astray.
Jack makes a new music video. Doing a video now. Oh.
Tell me the facts real straight. Don't make me over. Wrapped in glory.
Nice day, huh?
For one Irish over. Tell me you seen the light. Tell me you know me. Make you come out alright. And wrap it in glory. For one Irish rover. For one Irish rover. He's been a great friend, and this is his 80th birthday. And even though he always worked 26-hour days, he lived. So I hope he lives another 80 years.
I'd say happy birthday, Jack. Because yesterday, or not yesterday, but the 16th is his birthday. That's one date I never forget, because we used to celebrate our birthdays together down here. And he always remembers coming to my house over there and having birthday cake.
Oh, happy birthday and many, many more to that guy.
I do wish him a very happy birthday and a good year ahead.
No, just thanks for all these years of all the fun we've had, and like I say, I'm beating a drumming this idea in, but this significant birthday's got nothing to do with the end of anything. It's just another day on our ongoing pursuit of fun. And that's kind of an inside joke between Jack and I. Fun.
Exactly, I forgot. Let's go Bulldogs. Bulldogs. Bow, wow, wow. Okay.
I know you're getting old because, buddy boy, you're not in your 60s and 70s anymore. Now you're getting up there where, in Mike, when you start hitting the 80s, going in the 80s, take care of yourself. I know you've been having some problems now, but keep your health. Looking forward to meeting you at Skinny Atlas, and we can talk over some really good times and have a nice chat. And I love you. I've always loved you, and you've always been my best friend. And what can I say? I'll see you soon.